A surfer vanished without a trace after a massive shark attacked in chest-deep water, right where most people feel safe. Witnesses say the creature struck fast, leaving nothing but a chilling silence. Was it a freak encounter, or is something lurking beneath, waiting? Search teams are racing against time, but with each passing moment, the ocean keeps its secrets. Steven Jeffrey Payne was living the dream. A 37-year-old New Zealand native who had settled in Melbourne, he was on vacation in Western Australia with his girlfriend and their dog, soaking up the sun and embracing the laid-back coastal life. It was supposed to be a perfect getaway. Instead, it became a nightmare. On the morning of March 10th, 2025, Steven paddled out for a surf at Wharton Beach, a stunning but remote stretch of coastline near Esperance. The waves were steady, the water was calm, and he wasn't even far from shore, only about 50 meters out in chest-deep water. A moment later, everything changed. Beachgoers heard a piercing scream. His girlfriend, standing on the sand, watched in horror as he was suddenly dragged under the water. A massive shark had attacked out of nowhere, and in seconds, the water around him turned red. A drone camera flying overhead happened to capture the attack, and the footage was nothing short of terrifying. One moment, Steven was paddling. The next, he was gone. The ocean swallowed him whole, leaving only a rapidly spreading cloud of blood in the water. People on the beach froze in shock, unable to do anything. There was no time for a rescue attempt, no chance for Steven to fight back. Within minutes, emergency services were on the scene. The Western Australia Police Force, Marine Rescue WA, and State Emergency Service, SES personnel, launched boats, jet skis, and aerial searches, scouring the coastline for any sign of him. But as the hours dragged on, hope faded fast. The only thing they found was his surfboard, washed up on shore with deep bite marks, the only remaining clue of what had happened. Authorities kept searching for nearly 48 hours, but by the second day, the mission had shifted from rescue to recovery. Eventually, they made the tragic announcement. Steven was presumed dead. His body was never found. Steven wasn't just another tourist passing through. He was an adventurer, an athlete, and someone who lived life to the fullest. With a background in rugby and firefighting, he was always up for a challenge and never backed down from an adventure. Friends described him as fearless, kind-hearted, and the first person to step up when someone needed help. His girlfriend, who had shared this incredible journey with him, was now left staring at the waves, knowing he was never coming back. The ocean had taken him, and just like that, their future was gone. But this wasn't just a tragic accident, it was part of a disturbing pattern. This was the fourth fatal shark attack near Esperance since 2017. The coastline, while beautiful, has become one of the most notorious shark attack hotspots in Australia. What makes this even more chilling is that Wharton Beach does not have shark monitoring beacons, unlike other nearby spots like Twilight Beach and kelp beds. That means no early warnings, no alerts. Surfers are on their own. Now, as news of Steven's death spreads, pressure is mounting on the Western Australian government to take action. More and more people are questioning whether safety measures like shark nets, deterrent systems, or expanded drone surveillance should be implemented before another life is lost. Because at this rate, it's not a question of if it will happen again. It's a matter of when. The ocean is unpredictable, and no one knows that better than those who live by it. Steven Payne was doing what he loved in a place he believed was safe. But in a single, devastating moment, everything changed. His story serves as a chilling reminder of just how powerless we are against nature. His friends and family are left with only memories, while the world is left asking the same haunting question. Could this have been prevented? Esperance, Western Australia. It looks like paradise. White sandy beaches, turquoise waters, waves rolling in like something out of a postcard. But if you talk to the locals, they'll tell you there's more to this place than its beauty. beneath those stunning waters lurks something else, something powerful, something that has turned this stretch of coastline into one of the deadliest shark hotspots in the world. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when a great white strikes here, it's fast, brutal, and often fatal. For years, Esperance has been the site of some of the most terrifying shark encounters in Australia. And when you hear the stories, it's hard not to feel a chill run down your spine. Take what happened in 2017. 17-year-old Letitia Brewer was on a surfing trip with her family at Kelpbeds Beach, just 20 kilometers from Wharton Beach. It was meant to be a dream day out, sun, waves, and the thrill of riding the ocean. But then, in a matter of seconds, everything changed. A massive great white shark struck, dragging her beneath the surface. Her father, helpless to stop it, pulled her from the water, but the damage was too severe. The ocean had claimed another life, and it didn't stop there. In 2020, Gary Johnson, an experienced diver, set out for what should have been just another day in the water near Cull Island. He knew the risks, but he'd dived these waters plenty of times before. But this time, he never made it back. A great white struck with brutal force, and he was gone. His wife, who had been on their boat, could do nothing but watch in horror. Search teams combed the area, but the outcome was already written. Esperance had claimed another victim. Not everyone who encounters a great white in these waters loses their life, but even survival comes at a steep cost. Just ask Sean Pollard. Back in 2014, he was surfing near Wiley Bay when a great white launched at him. The attack was so vicious that he lost both his arms. Let that sink in. Both arms gone in an instant, but against all odds, he survived. And not only that, but he turned his tragedy into something incredible, becoming a Paralympic athlete and proving that even the most brutal setbacks don't have to define you. So, what makes this stretch of ocean so dangerous? It's not just bad luck. The waters off Esperance are a prime hunting ground for great whites. The cold, nutrient-rich currents attract seals and fish, exactly what these massive predators are looking for. And the deep drop-offs near the shore make it easy for sharks to move in fast, striking before anyone has a chance to react. Some scientists believe that as shark populations grow, encounters with humans are only going to increase. Others argue that we've simply entered their territory, and these attacks are just an unfortunate consequence of sharing the ocean with apex predators. But not everyone is willing to accept that as the final answer. Every time there's another attack, the debate reignites. Should there be more shark culling? Should the government increase surveillance with drones and patrols? Or should people just accept the risks that come with swimming and surfing in these waters? It's a conversation that's been going on for years, with no easy answers. One thing is certain, though. Esperance's reputation as one of the deadliest shark hotspots isn't going away anytime soon. When people think about the ocean's biggest threats, sharks usually steal the spotlight. Thanks to Hollywood, news headlines, and pure primal fear, the idea of a great white lurking beneath the waves is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. But what if I told you that the real dangers of the ocean are a lot less dramatic, yet way deadlier? Let's talk about Australia, home to some of the most stunning coastlines in the world. And yes, a fair share of shark encounters. Every year, around 20 shark attacks are recorded in Australian waters. Sounds terrifying, right? But here's the thing. Only 2 to 3 of those result in death. In 2023, there were 4 fatal shark bites, which is slightly above average. But even then, those numbers pale in comparison to what actually claims lives at the beach. Because while everyone's looking out for fins slicing through the water, the real killers are sneaky, silent, and everywhere. Drowning, that takes out over 100 Australians every single year. Rip currents. They're responsible for more beach deaths than anything else, dragging even the strongest swimmers out to sea in seconds. And believe it or not, Even lightning strikes kill more people worldwide than sharks ever could. Yet, we're all hardwired to fear the predator with rows of razor-sharp teeth. Now, don't get me wrong. Shark attacks are horrifying. There's no sugarcoating what happens when a great white mistakes a surfer for its next meal. And if you look at Australia's numbers, surfers are usually the ones in the most danger. Their boards, splashing movements and silhouettes on the water look a lot like seals, which just so happen to be a shark's favorite snack. A case of mistaken identity? Absolutely. But try explaining that to someone who's just had a close encounter. It doesn't help that certain areas are more prone to these incidents. Esperance, for example, has built a reputation as one of the country's most notorious shark hotspots. The reason? Cold, nutrient-rich waters attract seals, and where there are seals, there are sharks. Add in deep drop-offs right near the shore, perfect for a predator looking to ambush its prey, and you've got a recipe for some of the most infamous shark attacks in recent history. But let's put this into perspective. If you're heading to the beach, statistically speaking, a shark attack is one of the least likely things to happen to you. The odds of dying from drowning, being swept away by a rip, or even suffering a fatal fall on the rocks are exponentially higher. In fact, if you zoom out and look at global data, you're far more likely to be struck by lightning than bitten by a shark. And if you drive to the beach, that trip in your car is, hands down, the riskiest part of your entire day. So, why do we fixate on sharks? Why do we let this fear dictate the way we see the ocean? The answer is simple: drama. Shark attacks are rare, but when they do happen, they're gruesome, unpredictable, and unforgettable. They make headlines, they fuel debates about culling, and they spark fear in a way that no other ocean danger does. A rip current doesn't have teeth. Drowning doesn't leave behind bite marks. There's no villain to blame, just tragic accidents that happen quietly, without the same kind of spectacle. But maybe, just maybe, it's time we reframe the way we think about ocean safety. Sharks exist, and yes, attacks happen. But if we really want to stay safe at the beach, maybe we should be paying more attention to the currents, the conditions, and our own awareness in the water. Because at the end of the day, that's what will actually save lives. Sharks have been around for millions of years, perfectly adapted to dominate the ocean. But as humans continue to venture into their territory, the challenge has always been the same. How do we stay safe without disrupting the delicate balance of marine life? Over the years, Australia has become a world leader in shark mitigation, using advanced technology and smarter strategies to reduce the risk of attacks. But let's be clear, there's no such thing as a shark-free ocean. The goal isn't to eliminate them, it's to learn how to coexist. One of the biggest game changers in shark safety is drones. These high-tech eyes in the sky patrol popular beaches, spotting sharks before they get too close to swimmers or surfers. Helicopters do the same, offering a wider range of surveillance. But the real innovation? Real-time public alerts. Apps like Shark Smart WA notify beachgoers of nearby shark activity, giving people the power to make informed choices before even stepping into the water. Then there's smart drumlines, a major shift from traditional shark control methods. Unlike old-school drumlines that leave sharks to die on hooks, these newer models work by catching and relocating them away from high-risk areas. They're also fitted with tracking devices, helping scientists study their movements and better predict their behavior. It's a massive win for both human safety and shark conservation. For those looking for personal protection, shark deterrents are growing in popularity. Devices like the Ocean Guardian Freedom plus Surf emit electric fields that disrupt a shark's electroreceptors, making them think twice before approaching. While no deterrent is 100% foolproof, studies show they significantly lower the chances of an attack. But here's where things get really interesting: the power of knowledge. The truth is, most shark encounters happen because people unknowingly put themselves at risk, avoiding dawn and dusk swims, staying out of murky water, and ditching brightly colored gear that resembles fish can all make a huge difference. And one of the simplest but most effective safety measures? Never swim alone. Sharks are more likely to target solitary swimmers, so being in a group reduces the risk dramatically. Of course, there's always been a controversial debate over shark culling. Some believe killing off sharks near popular beaches is the only way to stop attacks, but marine experts warn that this does far more harm than good. Removing sharks disrupts entire ecosystems, affecting fish populations and even coral reefs. It's like trying to prevent car accidents by getting rid of all the cars, completely unrealistic and environmentally disastrous. So, what's next? Scientists are constantly developing better ways to predict shark activity, using satellite tracking and migration data to improve warning systems. New deterrent technologies are being tested, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And as awareness grows, people are beginning to understand that sharks aren't mindless killers. They're just predators following instincts, playing a vital role in the ocean's health. At the end of the day, the ocean belongs to them. We're just visitors, but with the right precautions, a little knowledge, and the help of modern technology, we can share the water safely, without fear and without harming one of the most misunderstood creatures on the planet. The tragedy at Wharton Beach isn't just another statistic. It's a stark reminder of how unforgiving nature can be. Steven Payne's story, like those before him, forces us to confront the reality of swimming and surfing in waters where apex predators roam. While Australia's beaches are among the most breathtaking in the world, they also come with risks that can't be ignored. For those left behind, grief lingers long after the headlines fade. Steven's loved ones now face a heartbreaking reality. His laughter, his adventurous spirit, and the life they built together are gone in an instant. No warning, no second chances. And yet, the broader debate continues. Should authorities ramp up protective measures, or is this just the price of coexisting with nature? Some advocate for shark nets, drum lines, or expanded surveillance, while others argue that humans are intruding into their domain. One thing remains certain. Esperance's waters have earned a deadly reputation, and unless action is taken, more lives may be lost. As the sun sets over Wharton Beach, the waves roll in as if nothing ever happened. But for those who knew Steven, the ocean will never look the same again. So, what do you think about all of this? Do you agree with how things played out? Or do you think there's more to the story? Let us know in the comments. We've covered a lot today, but one thing's for sure. This situation has left a lot of people talking. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.